Click to join.
Oh, now it's live. It's live.
Finally. All right, let's see if it works.
All right, Ibrahim, how's it going?
One second. On LinkedIn, it says the event will start soon.
Okay.
Wait until the host start.
Well, it started since 20 seconds on our StreamYard, and it's supposed to take about 20-30 seconds.
20-30 seconds? Okay.
20-30 second lag. I am on. You hear?
Oh, look at that. All right. As we said, it's like last week, it's like two oji-san, middle-aged old men.
Okay, I'm going to turn this down.
Technology. All right.
There you go.
There we go.
Hey, there's nobody right now that's on any of our platforms anyways right now. But if people come in, well, now if people come in and they don't hear sound or they don't see us, then definitely put in a comment. We are live on the right platforms. We are on YouTube and on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is supposed to be our main place. So you see it on LinkedIn. I see it on YouTube. I think it's good this time. So, all right, let's kick things off. Ibrahim, how are you doing?
I'm good, but 1 second though, we gotta make sure. I'm a little bit dubious if this is working or not.
Okay, well,
because there's a little bit of an echo, and I have no idea where it's coming from.
That's very strange.
Yeah, it's on your end. My LinkedIn is the volume is off. Okay, well, actually, why don't we ask the audience if anyone's joined us to message us?
No, I know it's not. I can see the number of people. Well, then actually, Cortland is actually seeing us live. So,
nice.
Hello, Cortland. There you go. Hey, hi, Cortland. How you doing? See, isn't this cool? This is cool stuff. So let's get things kicked off. Cortland, if you hear some echoey stuff or if the audio is not good, let us know. We are testing the waters. But as far as I know, it seems to be okay. Maybe Ibrahim, you should turn off your sound on the StreamYard side and then just keep the Zoom coming.
Really?
That's possibly, yeah. Or actually, yeah, we should actually just turn off the video on the we should turn off the camera on the StreamYard side. Yeah. No, actually, no. Let stop that. I don't hear Ibrahim anymore. So, Ibrahim, return whatever you were doing. Ibrahim, I don't hear you. Oh, now you hear.
All right. Okay.
Now I hear you.
All right.
But I am a little afraid that your sound is going through StreamYard to me and not through Zoom.
That's strange.
Again, I hope everybody can hear Ibrahim. If you can't hear Ibrahim anymore, Cortland says no sound.
No sound. Or it might be a delayed.
Slight echo, but okay, is what Cortland said. So now we're okay. We'll have to test this out for next time, but at least they're hearing with a little bit of an echo on from you, I guess.
But otherwise, you're blaming me.
Of course. I mean, it can't possibly be my fault. Cortland says much better.
Okay, awesome.
So good.
Thank you so much.
Let's do it for this one. And thanks, Cortland, for the little sound check. And this is a retake of last week where we sort of talked on for almost 40 minutes.
In a black and white. I mean, yeah, exactly. Is it like those immigration offices where it's just like the subtitle only?
Yeah, my goodness. All right, so let's start from the beginning. What are we doing right now? We're doing a live stream that we're gonna go for every week on this at this time. So this is Monday, every Monday at 7 o'clock Eastern, 7 p.m. And it's 8 a.m. in Japan. So it's something that allows most of North America to come in, and also for Japan to take on, maybe on their way to work, or whatever it is. And it's why Japan? Because we want to connect Japan. We're called BioBridge, connecting Japan and the world. Our anchor is basically Japan and everywhere else. So that's what we're doing. And on a weekly basis, we'll be talking to each other, checking up on what's been going on in the world of Japan and the rest of the world, and see if we can pick up some good topics, and also more general topics, long-term topics that has to do with Japan. Hopefully, coming up with information that could benefit our audience, folks who want to access Japan, who's actually already working with a Japanese partner, who's facing some difficulties of communication, or anything down along those lines.
And also Japan wanting to connect globally as well.
Indeed.
So the other
good
way.
Good call. And that is why
arrow.
Indeed, that's why you are seeing right now, the right here under the screen, there's subtitles, and this is so that when we're talking in Japanese, when we're speaking in English, the subtitles will be translated into Japanese for those of us who reads Japanese better. And also, there will be times when we'll probably be doing sessions in Japanese. And for those who don't know, we have a Japanese with us, actually. Ibrahim's more Japanese than I am. So
yeah, right. Yeah.
So
yeah, I know. I was like, this whole time you've been talking Japan, and everyone's probably like, Japan? We will explain.
So, well, let's do that. Why you and me? Ibrahim, why don't you kick it off? Give us a little bit of your background and your connection to Japan. Why are you sitting here talking to me about Japan?
Yeah. And we did this last time, so sorry if you already read this last week.
Different. It's different when you hear it.
Yeah. But yeah, Ibrahim, Mian here. So I was actually born and raised in Japan. To no credit to myself, it's not of my choosing. My family, or my father, basically set up an export business, automobile export business out of Japan. And lo and behold, I was born there, along with my brother. So two of us half the family was basically born in Japan, half in Pakistan. That's my ethnicity. But basically grew up there, went to international schools. Up until 18 was in Japan, graduated high school, and then the rest is all in the US. So came to college to the US, studied medicine, practiced for about a decade or so. And interestingly, majority of that decade was practicing in Japanese, not in Japan, but in the US. So this is in Japanese clinics in the US, set up specifically for expats as well as tourists. I did a couple years in Atlanta, and then a lot of my years in New York. But for the past 6 years or so, I shifted to the pharmaceutical industry, specifically a startup Biotech out of New York, where we're developing drugs, basically going straight into phase 2, generating proof of concept data.
Yep. Did we lose you? Ibrahim? Oh my goodness. You're a little too much for... Oh, there you go.
Etc.
We lost you for a bit there.
No, oops.
Maybe 30 seconds or so.
Oh, okay.
Proof of concept, something like that.
Proof of concept. Okay, so we basically generate proof of concept, IP, etc., tie it in a bow to get it licensed to a larger pharma, hopefully. But interestingly, 2 out of 3 of our products are licensed from Japan. It was very fun negotiating with Japanese partners in Japanese and scaring our Japanese partners when I spoke in Japanese. But all of that kind of coming full circle to this, why we're doing this, because at least I am, and Tetsu will probably explain his side as well, but I'm interested in life sciences, pharmaceuticals, as well as med devices, et cetera, et cetera. I think Japan has a lot of potential. I would like to really bring Japan to the world, much more than they are already, and vice versa as well, because Japan has a drug loss, drug lag. Some technologies from the globe are missing in Japan, so I'd love to kind of help facilitate that as well, in whatever capacity, inside work, outside work, whatnot. So that's me.
There you go. Thank you. It's the second time I'm hearing this, all this background, but both times, when you talk about when you started as a clinician in an international clinic, it just makes me think when I was a kid, my parents wanted to be, all Asians wanted me to be a doctor, and then you can have your own international clinic. You can speak these languages. But too bad I'm not smart enough to get the good grades that was required to get into medical school. So I did the second best thing. I married a doctor.
Vicariously live.
Oh my goodness. Oh well. But I did. I tried to apply for various medical schools back in the day, and I had like a backup plan for Laval University where you had a second choice. So it was first choice medical school, second choice whatever, PhD in cellular molecular biology, and that got in. So I'm living my backup life. Oh well, it is what it is. But let's go back to the beginning. So I grew up in Taiwan, actually, just next to Japan. Japan and Taiwan have very good relationships. So good that my parents met in Hong Kong. So my father from Taiwan, my mother from Japan, and they had a kid in neutral territory. And I was born in Hong Kong, but I did. We all came back to Taiwan when I was 8 months old or something, and I grew up in Taiwan. And like you, I went to an American school or international school in Taiwan, so hence the English. And did my elementary school. So I left Taiwan at 13. That's kind of what we wanted to get me out, explore the world. That's sort of, and I had an aunt. So my father's youngest sister married a Quebecer. So I'm currently living in Quebec. I came here when I was 13 after elementary school to do my high school. And then suddenly, of all the places that they could have chosen on the map, or at least in Canada, they chose Quebec. So suddenly I have to go to school in French and learn the French here. I went to high school, university, and my graduate studies all here. And I did, like I said, I did try to apply to medical school. I did that MCAT, 2-3 times. I failed every time. And eventually ended up doing a PhD in cellular molecular biology at Laval University. And while I was doing that, near the end, I thought to myself, it's good to have science, but there's something I really want to do in my life, in my career, and that is to use my cultural linguistic skills and work. And where other, what other best good place to go than to go to Japan. So this is early 2000s. So go to Japan and use my Japanese. Japan was still the hub of science and innovation. So I thought I'll just start there, do get my network, and then come back to Canada and continue to work with Japan throughout my career. That was vaguely, it's the whole plan that I had. Although it was originally just 2-3 years in Japan, 2-3 years in the West Coast, and then come back, open my lab. But I went nothing like that. I did my postdoc at the Tokyo Institute of Technology for almost 5 years, or actually a little more than 5 years, almost 5 years. And then I went to Eisai, so the domestic pharma in Japan. Was there for a few years. Then I went to a CRO called Covance, and that company was later merged with LabCorp, and then now it's spun out as Fortrea. But I spent 11 and a half years in at the front lines of clinical operations. So that's my career in a nutshell. And then last year I started my own company, my little consultancy, and really doing what I want to do, bridging Japan and the rest of the world in this industry, the biopharma industry. And that's what I've been doing for a year and a half now. I do have a comment from Cortland. He says, "How do you fail the MCAT?" Well, you don't fail. You just don't get into the medical school.
You score low, I guess.
I did it 3 times. Oh my goodness! You know what really kills me is that it's the essays. I thought, if I go into science, I wouldn't need to write essays and be really good at writing text, thinking that was for the arts, the philosophy and all that, the literature. Those guys need to learn how to write. But oh my, was I wrong? Writing scientific articles was killing me. My goodness! But I did learn a lot. I thankfully I had a great supervisor who corrected me, over and over and over. My goodness, I really learned a lot, through writing from him. So,
but hey, you stood back up and look at what you're doing now. So, right?
Yeah. Well, hey, I can't complain. If there's one thing that I really appreciate from my parents' teachings is to, appreciate. Things don't go your way, not as planned, but just appreciate what you have. Just being born into an advanced country like Taiwan, Japan, or in those days Taiwan wasn't so advanced, but Japan or Canada, US, being able to live here, being able to have your career here, you're lucky beyond imagination for many people. So through that, through appreciation and through hard work, sort of came up with what I have today as a career. And again, I can't complain. I'm having a blast. Having a lot of fun.
What month did you move to Quebec?
What month? That was August.
August, okay.
Yeah, I remember.
So it wasn't snowing yet.
No. That was yeah. Look, people talk about how cold it is here, but it's really not that cold. It's like you're at a 13-year-old boy who comes to Canada, who loves sports. I mean, I had no time to be homesick. I spent so much time on the hills and on the ice playing ice hockey. I mean,
nice.
Winter sports was just so much fun for me, and it continues to be, and continues to be for my kids now today. So that was a great change.
So I'll bring it out in public, but my daughter would be going to McGill soon, in the next month, and
my co-high.
Yeah, exactly. She's like scared of the cold, so we'll see how that goes.
No, it's good. It's good to over prepare and be pleasantly surprised. And maybe it's global warming, whatever the case. I remember, I spent about 11 years, like I said, I spent a good chunk of my career in Japan. So that's about 11, 12 years in Japan. When we decided to come back, the thing that I dreaded the most was really about the coldness. But when I came back, like I've come to realize that it's really not that cold. And the winters aren't aren't long enough. I feel sometimes.
Wow.
Is it an illusion? Is it I don't know.
Fun.
Do
Well,
we have a
that's
comment?
that's cool. So that's our background.
Yeah, and
And
look,
then I guess we should let everyone know what we hope to accomplish. I guess we did
yeah, but
talk
hang,
about this.
hang on. We got a comment from Kirtland again.
Oh, nice.
Through my career, he says now you make more than an MD. I don't know.
Depends on the specialty, right?
I make more than my wife as an MD.
Uh-huh.
That's because she's working as a online doctor. Like she has her license in Japan, and unfortunately she can't practice here. In Canada, she doesn't have her license here, and she did try to do some tests and whatnot, but you gotta pass the French exam and everything. So when COVID hit, well, she finished her residency in 22, and that was a year and a half after COVID started in Japan. This online medicine, telemedicine, really took off, and thanks to that, she's working as an online doctor, and also with me in my company as she's helping me out with some projects and also learning about clinical development because she's seen patients, but she's not really had any exposure to clinical development per se. So that's what she's doing right now, and yeah, she'll be earning more than me. I hope. So you were saying so missions, right? For what we want to do here. Yeah, definitely. We want to make this an information hub for people. Also, look, we met. What has it been? A few months, maybe 2 months, a month and a half.
Maybe 2 months. Yeah.
You know,
right before bio, I guess.
Yeah, it's not like we've known each other forever, but we've hit it off really quickly. Got a very unique background, and we're sort of on the same wavelength with respect to Japan and how we want to contribute to this bridging of Japan and the world, and our we have the similar scientific background, and so I thought we'd start this thing and see where it goes, because we can have our weekly meetings on Zoom, but I thought, why don't we just put it out here? I'll learn about what you did this past week, and the stuff that you put on LinkedIn. It's just fascinating. You're so caught up on, not caught up, but you're also up to date on all these things happening in the scientific world, and many of these things have direct connection or impact to Japan. And so I just thought we'll bring our discussion here and share.
Yeah. So like you said, like it could be scientific, but it could be about anything as well. Because, for example, I guess Douglas, right? Yeah, he posts a lot of news articles as well that are interesting. Yeah, and there's some stuff. I mean, we don't want to talk about politics per se, but there's some political stuff going on in Japan as well. Some changes.
Well, they just had their senkyo, the election.
Yes. So like some interesting, maybe not the political angle, but how it might impact us, or even immigration, right? So people trying to go to Japan, and it's going to impact foreigners potentially. So perhaps we could.
A big topic, funding. Funding is also a big topic that I hear. I'm in these different online communities that meet every once in a while offline, also in person. One is called Bullpen. It's like it's a really nice community of investors and startups. Great bunch of people. And so I met most people in person the first time at Bio this last month, and it's a great community. Things like that. They whenever I talk about Japan, and then talk about funding, alternative sources of funding, I get lots of requests to talk about these fundings from Japan. Maybe we'll do a session next week, or I can talk about AMED. It's like the NIH equivalent of Japan. AMED, I see that it's written Amen. It's not Amen. It's AMED. AMED. And they have this huge fund that's really interesting. You know, the model is like if you're a startup and you get funding from VCs, AMED will put in 200% of that funding. So it's a really huge fund, and we can maybe take some time next week and share some information on that.
Yeah. So that'll be next week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and long term, gonna keep this thing going, and we do want to make this as informal and and approachable. I do hope everybody, people catching our lives, or even catching the what's my call it, the recordings. There is a link for feedback. So if you go in there and give us some comments on how we're doing, and maybe some topics that you'd like us to talk about, some problems and issues, obstacles that you're facing, maybe we could talk about that. And also there's a link actually in the descriptions below for you to pop in, and we could have you on camera, and we can talk about your Nayami, your what you're thinking about, if you're facing some issues with that's related to Japan.
Yeah, that'll be fun, having other people on.
Yeah. And what else should we talk about? Recent updates, bio, right? Yeah. It's already a month ago. I was supposed to talk about that last week, but
it's true.
I had a blast at bio. I mean, it's one of those things where you schedule, and then I met like 40 companies, and thank God for AI note takers. I was able to take all the information and then follow up with some of the companies. But I love those festivities. It's always fun to meet new people. Maybe that's just me. I guess I'm no introvert, but and it's good. Yeah. I mean, you gotta have this personality if you want to bridge people, right?
That's true, but I mean, you could be an introvert like me and still do it.
Are you an introvert? You're not an introvert, are you?
After this, I'm gonna crash. You don't know.
Self-proclaimed. But whatever the case, what's important, that we have our, is that we have our vectors aligned. We're going in the same direction. We have our same mission. We also have a group that we started. We're approaching 100 people coming in that group. And it's the one that I don't know if you're on this side or on this side. Yeah. Point to the Bio Bullet Train. Tell us about the Bio Bullet Train that you started.
Yeah, no, so it's just a LinkedIn group. So basically anyone who's interested in life sciences and the intersection of that with Japan. And again, the same thing, bridge. So this one, instead of calling it a bridge, I called it the bullet train. That's going to join the two countries, or not two countries, Japan and globally. So if you're interested in that field in general, we do encourage you to join, or just send us a message, and then we'll put you in the group. It's just getting started. We're doing intros, and if you're in the group and have not introduced yourself, please do so, because that's how this group is going to be meaningful as well.
Absolutely.
It's when everyone knows each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
And once people know someone, so let's say it's someone globally is working on siRNA technology, then someone recently introduced themselves saying they work in that in that field. So you've directly kind of made a link right there. So it's going to be just helping each other, non-transactional, just more informational, and really networking group.
You know what I thought? We have a group called Bio Bullet Train, and then we have this live called BioBridge. And I just thought, it can be compatible. It can be the Bio Bullet Train that's running over our bridge to go from Japan to the US, or go the other way from the US into Japan.
Yeah. And Europe too. So Don't forget
Yes,
that.
of course,
And Asia
of course.
and the rest of the world. Yeah.
Yeah, but like it or whether you like it or not, U.S. is still the biggest market.
Yeah.
Um, that's where things are happening. I do hope that Japan can pick up pace through some of our activities and get back to its position like in the 80s when Japan was a global leader in the industry. And Japan used to be a global leader right alongside the US, pumping out new chemical entities right at the same pace. Like 1 out of 3 came out of the US, 1 out of 3 came out of Japan, and the rest of the world shared the remaining third. But that was 4 decades ago, and today, unfortunately, it's getting more and more concentrated. Today, 2 out of 3 new chemical entities come out of the U.S. Can you believe that? And then Japan's come down to like 7%. So that's why it's also part of why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
Japan has so much to offer. You know it, I know it, but it just seems like the world doesn't know it. And it's also how things have evolved over the past few decades with smaller companies pumping out these new chemical entities. I think the key word today is more like speed. Just get a win with the FDA and then exit. Get a win with the EMA and then exit. Like no bandwidth to deal with Japan, and that's unfortunate. So that's what's called what you mentioned earlier, drug loss, right? These drugs that are getting approved outside of Japan and not coming into Japan. This is a huge topic with any in the industry in Japan. If you talk to anybody about drug loss, people will know what you're talking about. And I also coined the term drug less, which is kind of this productivity issue within Japan. These companies in Japan that used to pump out 1 out of 3 new chemical entities back in the day, they're just not doing it anymore. So we got to take that back. Also, more collaborations between Japan and the world. I think it's just going to benefit everybody. And look, you and I, we have some of the skills required, I think. And as we spread our mission, as we spread the word about what we do, I'm sure we'll meet other people who's got the same mindset, same complementary skills, and who want to do the same thing, contribute the same way, and let's see we can maybe start a movement. I don't know where this is gonna go, but just trying everything we can to give back to, like, most of my career has to do with Japan, and half of me, like this side, is Japanese.
Isn't that funny? Like we say, give back, and I actually feel the same way as well. Where really, it's growing up in Japan was fun. There's a sort of, it doesn't go with my looks or whatever, my outside appearance, but that I do have a particular connection too. So I feel like there's that giving back element as well.
Fantastic. Listen, you said we're going to try to keep this short, 10, 15 minutes, but look at the time.
Impossible.
It just goes by. But look, it's an intro session. People can take a look at the recording and whatnot. But I think starting next week, we're gonna have some sort of topic, and the first one next week we'll be introducing Japan, the issues of Japan, and how there's various initiatives that are countering these issues. I think that in and of itself will be a pretty big topic too, and also why people should care. Japan is still a huge market, and the technology is there, and the yen is really low right now, so it's a great time to invest in Japan. I think the stars are aligning, and we can maybe talk about some of those elements of why the world should care about Japan, and how collaborating with Japan can be beneficial for everyone.
A lot of funding in Japan too, which
Indeed.
we'll talk about next time as well. And that's despite the flat GDP, the percentage is going up still.
Well, it's going up, and it last year, 2024, they finally the Nikkei finally went to broke the new record. I mean, the new record, the record since they crashed in the 90s, early 90s. So 4 decades later, it finally went got a new record high in, what was it, November, July? I forget, somewhere last year. So Japan's coming back. It's picking up steam. Okay, well, so thank you, folks who have watched us, and thank you, Cortland, for your comments. Let's finish up just with a few comments. He says, "Just 40, slacker." I'm not too sure what this one is about. Do you know?
I don't know.
What were we talking about? This is actually about 10 minutes ago. So maybe.
They were talking about your age, maybe.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. And the last comment from Cortland, it's 80s, 90s were great for Japan and the US. Indeed. Indeed. And hopefully we can bring back some of that, equilibrium. I mean, not just Japan. Hopefully, share the wealth and the advancements with the world. Definitely, my focus is Japan. I'd like to get Japan back on its feet, competitive. But at the same time, I don't wish. I don't wish bad wishes on anybody else. I just wish it with through those efforts that it could be shared to everybody. Sort of that rising tide raises all boats kind of thing. But starting with Japan. Alrighty.
Sounds good.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time, Ibrahim. And
no, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, whoever joined us today.
And Cortland said 40 companies at Bio. Okay. Yeah.
Got it. Only 40.
Well, in my defense, it was 40 companies over 3 days and not 4 days. But still. Oh well. Hey, thank you, Cortland. Thank you, everybody, and greetings to everybody on our journey. And hopefully you'll join us in the coming weeks. All right. Take care.
All right.
See you next time.
Bye
bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.